for
Hi,
joining in.
Abigail. I don't know whether it has started. Yeah, there we go. We are live.
That's perfect. Hello, everybody. My name is Abigail, as you've heard. I'm a part of the team at Sibasi, and today we're going to be talking about beyond technology donations. But before we dive right in, I'm joined by Amos. I don't know if you'd like to unmute your mic and say hi.
Yeah, hi, morning. It's a pleasure connecting today. Excellent, and yeah, it's an interesting topic that you have today to catch up on. Thanks, Abigail.
Great to have you on board, as well as we have Lavender also. Lavender, would you like to say hi to our guests?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lavender. Welcome to our session.
Thank you, that's nice. So we're going to be talking about beyond technology donations, and it's a webinar for the nonprofit space, and we're going to look at how we are actually going to be able to manage digital tools. Now, a little bit of housekeeping, just to let you know that this session is being recorded, and once the recording is available, it's going to be sent to your inboxes within 6 business days. Also, if you have any questions throughout this entire presentation, feel free to ask within the Q&A feature in Teams, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Now, I'd like to run over the agenda of this whole webinar session. We're going to start by looking at the access strap, and then we're going to look at Microsoft solutions for nonprofits, what Microsoft Elevate provides for nonprofit organizations, and then we're going to look at the whole roadmap for the real impact and the Sibasi solution suite. And then we're going to have live demos, see it in action, and then now the next steps and events and even questions that you have raised throughout the entire session. Now, as Sibasi, we are a Microsoft partner, and we have a mission to help nonprofits put their digital tools to work. So we are an end-to-end partner. We are Microsoft grounded, and we also have our own solutions that range from payroll systems to eBoard to Moneyval, and so much more. And throughout this entire tech scene, we have seen a number of challenges, and we're trying to turn them into real opportunities. We've seen challenges in delivery constraints, in staffing challenges, in donor acquisition and retention, also in personalized communication, because 77% of nonprofits believe that personalizing donor communication is critical, and only just 44% are always personalizing communication. We also have seen challenges in the complex financial environments and decision-making inefficiencies. And so by leveraging AI and technology, nonprofits can be able to streamline their operations. And as Sibasi, we are trying to help nonprofits deliver programs more effectively. And then we're also seeking for better stakeholder engagements between connecting the donors and meeting the expectations and improving field visibilities, and also impact across diverse and often remote communities. We also seek to bring about operational efficiency and security as well. Now, to dive into the access strap, and getting free software is the easy part, right? So many nonprofits, they are able to get access done in a day. They need to set up the adoption and the impact. So where the key value leaks away is that you get licenses actually deployed and they're used by staffing. And now from access to impact, the journey from access to setting up to adoption to impact. And I'd like to bring over Amos to talk about, we've seen what you get, right? So he'll talk about the things that you can be able to get and how you can be able to turn them into impact for your space.
Fantastic. I don't know whether you can hear me clearly. Just to
Yes.
confirm. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so within the Microsoft Elevate, there's a program, there's a lot of discounts that you actually get. So from the outright donations, which are grants, and in this case, when you get the grant, it's completely free software that more or less you can make use of. And then there is also cloud and AI benefits. When it comes to, for example, you need to set up servers, then you get the particular benefits. You also get 75% off on actual premium licenses. So if you are picking, for example, Microsoft 365 Business Premium, which gives you some of the core capabilities around security and so forth, then you get 75% discount on this particular set of licenses. And this becomes then a big advantage because you are able to you're able to actually get not only the benefits in terms of the free licenses, but you also are able to get the eligibility process, which takes which Microsoft does in a much in a very easy and straightforward process where you get to apply in less than 5 minutes, but also you're able to actually use the technology within a very short time. So some of the 4 pillars that you get within the Microsoft ecosystem, if you just go to the next slide, would be, you get to work with productivity tools. And then this allow you to also stay, use a secured set of platforms, and also the platforms that allow you to be able to measure impact. And measuring impact is more or less creating, reports for your donors, being able to create reports about the work that you're doing, and giving information to all your stakeholders about the work that you're doing. On the flip side, you also manage to do what we call scaling with cloud. And scaling with cloud is you get various tools or various sets of tools that allow you to be able to do workflows, business process automations, as well as, of course, AI. I think that has been one of the key areas in the recent age that you need to consider as an organization and take advantage of in your day-to-day kind of operations. So within the Microsoft 365, basically you get, there's a free business basic up to 300 users. And this allows you to be able to do your emails, to be able to access, your Word online on web. You can be able to access also Microsoft Teams also on web. But also the other, what we call the SKUs, the various types of other licenses, for example, the business premium, E3, these are discounted, heavily discounted, up to 75% discount if you're looking at the comparison between the the licenses that you could buy if you're a commercial entity or a government entity, compared to what you get within the Microsoft Elevate benefits. On another note, you also get Copilot and AI. And Copilot, first you get the Copilot chat, which is included as part of Microsoft 365. So you can be able to draft your donor letters, you can do, your proposals in an easy way. You can have Copilot actually summarize information that you have internally about, if you have to do like a visualization of your data, then you can easily get to do all those things quite within an enterprise grade secured platform. On the other side, if you want to actually, consider the things to do with the security, then you would be able to actually get discounted pricing. But besides that, also, of course, you can use Power BI to do your reporting. And whether you go with Power BI Pro, you get it at a discounted price. So you can do your M&E dashboards, you can do your, your real-time grant reports for your beneficiaries and so forth, quite easily using this particular set of tools, from spreadsheet data or whatever set of data that you actually collect and creating the various reports. Besides this, of course, there is Azure Grant, and just probably to go a bit more deeper on this is you get the cloud infrastructure that allows you to be able to host various systems. So let's say you have a system for grant processing or grant management, or you need a database system, and you do not need to procure local servers, but you get this Azure Grant that allows you to set up servers that can be able to host various systems that you might be using internally. On another note is you get Power Platform and Dynamics 365, which basically is your operations backbone. Basically, you are able to set up, a finance system, whether it is Dynamics Business Central, or even management of your donors, CRM, kind of information, when you have your volunteers and you need to coordinate information across the various teams, then this particular set of tools allow you to automate your various business processes. Now, this is all good, but in this day and age, when you are talking about AI, it's only as good as the systems that you have. And that's where Microsoft comes in as a core tool that can allow you to be able to set up, not only, have your disparate systems, but it brings together all your information so that you are able to actually have a unified system that then can feed AI to be able to support your core operations. And we keep saying that you need to, AI is only as good as data is grounded on. Now, all of this is quite nice. And I think just on a high level, you'll see that Microsoft provides these AI business solutions that span a wide range. I know most of us are familiar with Outlook for your email. You're familiar with probably Microsoft Word. But also on the other side, we are talking about having tools that can be able to automate your core business processes, being able to actually engage with your donors, being able to manage all your project information. If you have documents that are generated within your projects, then you're able to actually put all of this together within your SharePoint, and being able now to put that so that Microsoft Copilot, which is the AI tool from Microsoft, can be able to use your information within your organization and be able to actually give you reports and give you, a set of help you to be able to fundraise easily, help you to be able to manage your projects in a much more easier way. So to summarize, in the nonprofit toolkit from Microsoft, you are able to get Microsoft 365, which gives you your Teams, Outlook, Word, Excel. You're able to get SharePoint. SharePoint allows you to host all your documents in a secured file storage that is, available to your internal team. You have OneDrive that allows you to also host a set of documents that are personal to you. Then you get Microsoft Entra that manages your identity and manages your access, access to the various security, and it manages the, across your entire organization, whether it's your volunteers or internal teams. All of them are using this secure platform, and you can manage who has access to what. You get Copilot, which gives you your AI assistance across all the apps. Any app that you use within Microsoft gives you Copilot. And then you get Power Platform that allows you to set up automations and tools that allow you to, for example, if you need to do advanced requests for teams that are going out of office, you can set up the approval processes. You can set up, the various set of automations that help you to have a set of tools that automate processes that are internal. And finally, you get Azure Credits. Azure Credits allow you to host information within your organization. Azure Credits allow you to also set up, other systems. So whether you're setting up a system for payroll, for example, and you procured it from somewhere, and you would want to have a platform to host it, you do not need to procure servers. Azure Credits allows you to host this set of information internally. And I think from a wider range and a bigger picture is to look at it from getting all your teams and all your individual, teams, departments to work together on the same set of secure platforms. So whether it is doing internal calls, meetings, chats, you do that on Microsoft Teams. If it is about hosting your documents for your programs, you do that on SharePoint. If it is about having professional email that is always delivering to your mailbox and filters out spam, then Outlook comes in. And then for hosting your personal documents, you get OneDrive that assists you to do that. And all of this is built on a secure platform. So you get multi-factor authentication, you get data protection, encryption of your information, and clear governance, in terms of their policies, in terms of role-based access across your entire team. And where it mostly counts is about AI. Once you ground all this information within your organization, then you get AI that can support your mission work. In this case, being able to do better drafting of donor and grant communications, being able to summarize your meetings and long documents. You receive a document that there's a request for proposals, and AI can be able to crunch that in a very short time and give you summaries, or even find insights about the programs that you're executing, about various engagements that you're doing, so that you're able to report back to the donors. You get a question, from a donor that, what is the status about green energy in Africa? Then you can find those insights from internal information and from external information and put that together very quickly in a donor presentable for your board, based on AI and the tools that you get within AI. And finally, you are able to also automate repetitive admin tasks. So some of those admin tasks might be what I was talking about. If you have advanced requests and you need somebody to actually approve, and then you need to remember somebody needs to do this surrender, that entire process can be very easily automated through this particular set of tools. Now, that is exciting. I think so far, we've shown the value that you get from Microsoft. But the big question that comes in is around, how do you then get to achieve this? How do you get, what is the roadmap to actually get to achieve these particular advantages that you get? So from a first, and this is where we come in as Sibasi, in the roadmap, we are talking about having smooth implementation. So we get to look at if you already have data that you're collecting, that whether you're doing it's manual, or you already have data that is collected through Excel sheets and so forth. Then we come and evaluate, where is the data sitting? What is your current email system? What are you using? So that by the time you're setting up these systems, then you do not lose any information, you do not lose any records, historical information. All of that moves together with you into the Microsoft ecosystem. The other bit is that you get governance from day one in terms of roles management. And the best bit about working with us is that we will work with you in terms of driving the team adoption, which is one of the key challenges that we see, is that for your organization, it's great to get the tools, but you want to make sure that as the internal teams, you get to actually have everybody using these tools on a day-to-day, because then it's one thing to have the grant and you've set up and you're getting this, but getting your team to be able to work with the tools on a day-to-day. And that's where we come in as Sibasi. We help you in terms of setting up your, working with the internal champions who will advocate for working with the tools. But besides that, so also doing role-based training, looking at where do we get quick wins, and helping you also in transitioning from how things were done previously into I'd call it the Microsoft way, where you get a set of Microsoft tools that then help you get this set of advantages and benefits. And this is the adoption, which is ideally the phase 2 of the roadmap. Now, when we go to the phase 3, we get then now to measure, the impact. You set up this infrastructure, you getting, the advantages of AI and so forth. Then the next question that we always ask is around how then can you measure this impact? And there's two sets. There's a set of you have the infrastructure, and you want to understand whether the team is actually utilizing the set of tools. And we help you, from an admin side, get to see is your team using Teams, for example, and so forth. And based on that, we can help to structure trainings and campaigns that can help your team adopt this set of tools better. But besides that, within the Microsoft ecosystem, then you've already collected this data into Microsoft ecosystem, whether it's on SharePoint or on the Dynamics side of things and so forth, then we come in and say, okay, you need to report to the donors, and this is a set of reports, and we can create, your annual reports or track, your KPIs and help you prepare funder-ready reporting so that you're able to not only report to the donors, but also internally make better decisions about what you are to do next, and whether if you're measuring impact and you want to give dashboards that can summarize the kind of work that you're doing, then you get to actually get that advantage because of the Microsoft ecosystem. I'd like to pivot a bit and talk about specialized kind of solutions, because then within Microsoft, I've talked about the standard day-to-day tools that you would use, for your automating various processes. And these you get as a grant. But also, there's specialized kind of tools that assist solve very specific niche problems. And to kick off, I think I just want to quickly highlight some of these set of tools that you might want to consider. One is around payroll. Payroll has been one of the key challenges. You have, your volunteers, you have a set of internal staff, you have, various, and compliance, and making sure that, you're meeting, whether it is in country or even sometimes you're working across different countries, then payroll is one of the core items that you might want to consider. And then moving away from doing these on spreadsheets to a process-based, you have all your staff members, and it's able to generate at the end of the month. This is a payroll that you'd expect. Any benefits, it already calculates for you, and the engine, being able to do and meet the statutory compliance that you need, whether you're working in regionally or within in-country, then payroll is one of the solutions, and it's a specialized kind of a tool that you may want to consider. You had advanced requests that were issued out, then this can help you to know that, there's approvals that were done, there's some surrender that needs to come in, and that in itself, this particular set of tool will assist in achieving that. And the good thing is that it integrates with your core finance and so forth. And that brings the second solution, which is the HR. Management of your, leave, management of performance reviews, management of your internal records, or even things around timesheets. You need to report to the donor, the staff members who are working, and they're supposed to be, their cost is supposed to be tagged against a certain grant. Then HR comes in for your nonprofit to be able to put that together. Another solution that you might want to consider is board management, and within board management, you have your board, you have your donors, and you need to report and set up meetings where they can get to review progress and advice on what would be best to be handled next. And in this case, board management allows you to do, to run paperless. And the good thing about all these solutions is that they come with non-profit pricing. So it's not, there's commercial pricing, but you get discounted pricing that allows you to be able to, and if you go right now to ebo.cloud, you can get to see some of these benefits. I think this is just a quick summary and just highlighting, some of the benefits that you might want to consider about this. Another key solution area that is very specialized is Monivol. And Monivol brings in your monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring and evaluation is a core component of any programs and mission work that you do within your nonprofit. And you may want to really consider a specialized solution that helps track your indicators, track your targets, whether you're using Logframe or you're using results-based framework or whatever kind of framework that you're using. Then Monivol assists to create, to collect your data in one centralized tool, be able to publish this, and then, get to showcase. And if we'll get some time, I'll get to show you a bit of the benefits about why you should consider Monivol, because then at the end of the day, once you've collected the data, and all of this is certified by Microsoft, is solutions that are built on top of a Microsoft ecosystem. And lastly, I think one of the other specialized solutions that I would want to recommend that you consider is the data collect platform that allows you to do, data collection in the field. With, we operate in an environment where sometimes, the network might go off and so forth, and you would want to make sure that your team actually gets to collect the data, and also, the synchronization of the data. You do not want the team goes to the field, collects data, and then comes back to office and they have to type it in, or you have to get, volunteers to assist in that process of actually capturing the data. Data collect allows you to do that entire process, but not as the way you'd have ODK or another tool that would not integrate with your core systems. This brings the information back. You can easily now report on it using Microsoft Power BI. That is a quick high level. I think maybe before we jump into the live demo, I don't know whether Abigail would want to quickly just highlight as I probably just switch over to as I just do the switch over so that you can switch screens and
Okay.
I get to log in. If you can just run through the remaining bits of the
It's really
presentation so that once
interesting
we
to
switch
see
over,
how
we can,
it's really interesting to see how Sibasi is integrating with the Microsoft ecosystem and how it's helping nonprofits be able to achieve so much more impact. And even as you're setting up to do the live demonstration and seeing it in action, it's really nice to see that we have a spectrum of solutions from fundraising and stakeholder engagement to organizational efficiency and internal operations, as we said earlier, as we were starting out, and also the program delivery solutions, improving how the nonprofits are able to deliver their missions and measure real results and have strong impacts in that domain. And it's also really fantastic to see and to be able to explore a continuum of solutions, right? From productivity and collaboration tools like by using Teams and SharePoint to be able to also have better stakeholder engagements and also even workflow automations, automating the processes that are repetitive, and also in the finance and HR management domain where you've just mentioned about the onboarding, HR staff onboarding and the leave tracking, and also to the monitoring and evaluation and analytics, and also to have an impact storytelling with Power BI. So why does this matter to you? If you're in leadership, you're able to align with tech, with your mission goals, and you're able to have a highly secure system that governs your digital risks at board level. And also, if you're a team leader and a program lead, you're able to see the transition from legacy systems and also be able to manage training and turn tools into donor and program impact. And if you're in the IT and systems space, you're able to implement a very secure and robust system with clean user data migration and setup, and also the user controls. So a practical start for you, your first 90 days. Within the first month, you're able to set up securely. You're able to migrate your data from your legacy systems onto this ecosystem, and you're able to configure security and governance. And then in the second month, you're able to drive adoption, right? We're training by role, you're naming champions who are able to spearhead this solution implementation and also retire the old systems, and you're able now to measure impacts in the last 61 to 90 days. So you stand up, you have dashboards and report outcomes, and I able to help you make decisions in your system. So before we look at the upcoming events, I think Amos would like to go ahead and do the live demonstration.
Fantastic. Let me just switch screens. Let's confirm it's loaded. Just let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes.
Fantastic. So this is one of the solutions that I was talking about. I think I've talked about a number. But for the live demo, I thought just to show you some of the benefits that you can be able to get. And this is Monivol, which is a solution that is now built on top of Microsoft 365. So I mentioned that, you do your data collection in the field. And in this particular case, this is a use case of for a solution that we built for our client, Kenya Wildlife Conservancies Association. And basically, they have the team that goes to the field, goes to the various conservancies across Kenya, and they collect information about ongoing aspects, and based on an annual work plan, which is what we have here. They have a set of goals, they have a set of objectives, they have a set of activities, and they collect all this information. And finally, summing that up through the strategic plan tracker, getting that back into the information that is around the landscapes in the country, and organizational information, whether it comes to funding trackers, the donors, and so forth. All of that gets summed up into this particular set of report. And basically the report allows you to now quickly see, in fact, the challenge, one of the challenges that, when we were earlier discussing with the KWCA team, they mentioned that, you have a scenario where you have various stakeholders, whether it is the government or the donors. And at the end of the day, they are asking, what is, for example, the coverage of conservancies across the country? How well are we maintaining? And everybody is concerned about, what do we do next? What kind of, and in such discussions, you may want to actually talk about summary information about a geographical overview. And this was getting consolidated once a year. To get through an annual work plan report. But then with the system, as data is being collected, that gets reflected immediately. And these are some of the advantages, of the automations. And as KWCA, they've taken advantage of the grant that they are getting from Microsoft, and being able to build on top of that, through this particular solution that we provided, a specialized kind of solution, Monivol. We called it Hifadhi Hub for the internal use case. But basically, we are able to now get summary information about the landscapes area and the conservancies and so forth, as a quick overview about what is happening. And since this is built on Power BI, then you get the full capabilities of where you can be able to just click on one item, and it filters out the entire dashboard and just gives you, okay, this is the current status of what is happening with this particular set of operational set of conservancies. Or if you want to see the ones that are emerging, then you can just and do that, and then click on the ones that are mature, and then it filters out the information and tells you there are 2 of them, there is a number of conservancies and so forth. Besides that, I won't go into the nitty-gritties. I think the whole idea was not to really go into and explain the benefits, specifically about this particular set of solution, but just to give you a high-level idea. This particular set of report used to take weeks to be able to prepare, and right now, the information is there. The information is being collected in the field. This is what we use for Showcase, I think, with the approval, because it's one of the tools that we were talking to Microsoft, and we were saying, Microsoft, these are the benefits. This is the real impact of actually having this set of particular tools, and we are very excited, and also with the KWCA team also for giving us the approval, to get to showcase and talk about some of the benefits of this particular set of technologies. But I think the bigger part of what we want to quickly highlight is that we can get to build a set of tools that then meet your very specific needs based off the licenses that you're getting from Microsoft. But not only that, you can be able to actually maximize on this, and not just maximize, from a high level where it's what Abigail was talking about, helping you with the adoption, helping you with the setting up, and helping you to be able to maximize this particular set of benefits that you get from the Microsoft team. Besides that, I think Abigail mentioned that, we just in a high level that we have these 2 upcoming events, one on 6th of July, where we'll be having an executive roundtable. If you want to participate in the roundtable, you can just go to that particular link, cibra.c/NPO roundtable. It will take you to the place where you can do the registration, and you'll get, since it's limited space, we are getting Microsoft team to actually approve each of the requests. And this will be held at the Microsoft offices. So if you just go right now to cibra.c/NPO roundtable, you can get to see about that. It's a very small capacity setup where we'll be having executive discussions about what, now in a bit more detail and a bit more deeper, how do you take advantage of these benefits that Microsoft provide. We have another roundtable for academics. Since today we were just talking about, going beyond the donations. We didn't present that, but that will be on 7th. That's specifically for those who are in the academic sector. So if you are interested in that, you can reach out to us, and we will send you the link to register for that. And finally, we have a workshop. Now, this will be a bigger session where we'll go into showcasing live some of these set of tools, how do you take advantage of them? And we'll have our team available. There are the specific team members who specialize with this set of tools. Abigail will be there talking about smart memo and memo management, and many other set of tools that just similar to what I've talked about within the Monivol, the monitoring and evaluation solution. If you are interested to come and meet us physically, along with the Microsoft team and a team from Foresight, the team is coming from South Africa. We'll be having a very detailed, engaging session, and we are hoping that we'll get actually to see you there during this particular session. So to summarize, there's a set of benefits that you get from Microsoft. And what we come in to assist is you get all these beautiful set of tools. Some of them are pure grants. Some of them are very heavily discounted, up to 75% discount compared to commercial pricing. And as when we are doing the mission work, when we want to benefit the society, Microsoft is bringing this set of tools, and we are here to help you, to maximize and to move from just accessing the tools to implementing them and adopting and using this set of tools to help you become very efficient in how you operate as an organization. We appreciate the time. I see we've managed to actually go through the whole set of the key items that are there. We had left a bit of time to leave for any Q&A. I don't know whether there's any particular set of questions. Lavender, probably, I know you're in the background trying to check if there is any questions that have come up that we need to answer. But just to reiterate and to mention again, we'll be having the upcoming sessions, the physical engagements that will be there between this. That should be on 6th, 7th, and 8th of July. 6th, we'll be having the non-profit executive roundtable. Then on 7th, we'll be having the academic sector executive roundtable. And finally, on 8th, we'll be having the non-profit academic workshop. But maybe before we close, I don't know whether, Abigail, you have any parting shot, something that you'd want to mention to those who have managed to join us today. I know in Kenya today was Mandamano, or I don't know whether that is happening, but I don't know whether, Abigail, you have any particular parting shot.
Well, mine is just to encourage people to attend the upcoming events, because I've already marked my calendar, so I hope to see everyone there. And just I'm really excited for the events coming up. Yeah, to see how we can really help nonprofits achieve impact in their particular domains. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, so thank you so much. I don't know whether, Lavender, you've seen any particular question, something that we need to answer before we conclude.
Unfortunately, there are no questions.
Okay, fantastic. It means it was a straightforward and easy walkthrough. Yeah. Excellent. So we'll be looking forward to catching up, I think, and meeting physically on the 6th, 7th, and 8th, depending on, if you are available for the workshop. The workshop will be a bit more detailed, hands-on, walkthroughs about the set of solutions. The roundtable is more about discussing and aligning, technology, and there's various conversations that we'll be having on that. If you're able to join us, we'd be happy to host you along with the Microsoft team, and hoping and looking forward to seeing you there. Asante sana. Wish you all a fantastic day. Hopefully you get some time back to get to implementing the mission. Asante sana and wish you a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. See you then.